Integrating animals into your garden is an ideal thing to aim for. We've got 3 beautiful chooks which have stemmed from the Australorp family. Australorps are my favourite chooks because they're nice and big and friendly, are great layers, and because they're so big they're less likely to fly away. When you're starting a new chook pen, it's a great idea to put some deep litter in there. This can be some sawdust, some straw or hay. And what that means is that they can start scratching things up straight away and do a great job of breaking it all down. Once it is broken down, you can then put it into your compost bays, which will produce great compost for your garden. We've built our chooks a beautiful house to live in, and from around 90% recycled materials, which is great. We've put in a north-facing window, which just means that the chooks will get as much sunlight as they can into their beautiful little house. This will keep them nice and warm. We've put in an old gate as the floor. This is fantastic because it means all the manure can fall straight through while the chooks are roosting, and we can also lift the gate up and pull it out if we want to just give it a quick clean. We've also raised it off the ground to prevent any predators or rodents from moving in, which is very useful. Another good tactic to reduce any predators getting to your chooks is having a secure house for them. We've got a great door, which is really easy just to lift it all the way up, lock it away, and the chooks will be nice and safe at night time. In the morning, just pop it down and off they can go. Here's a simple example of a watering system which helps keep the water clean, as chooks can't easily spill it or scratch dirt and leaves into the tray. It's worth investing in a really good quality chook feeder. This will just mean that no rodents will move in and have a good feed on the chooks' food. We've got a really nice simple system here. All it is a plastic 20-litre bucket, and what you do is put your grain in the top and the chooks can come along and feed themselves by just tapping on the bottom of this little mechanism down here. And they can only get as much as they need, which is a big bonus. As well as making sure you've got good wholesome grain available for your chooks, another great food source is having living food inside the chook yard. Here we've got a contraption where just some basic chook wire mesh in a cylinder. Inside I've planted some green manure seeds. To allow it to get some good length on it, we've put a second protective circle of wire. Once the green manure is long enough, we'll remove this outer layer and allow the chooks to eat it. The chooks will only be able to eat the outer bits of the plants and not scratch the whole plant up. At the end of the day, I can actually remove both of these layers and let the chooks in. They're going to have a really fun time. I call these contraptions chook parties because the chooks get so excited. You can make these at much bigger scales and you can have more permanent crops in there like comfrey, chicory and dandelion, even a fruit tree surrounded by ground herbs. This is a fantastic way to integrate good food into your healthy chook lifestyle. There's a range of beneficial plants you can plant inside or around your chook pen. Here we've got some tree wormwood. Wormwood's great because it'll grow up to be a nice, good, healthy sized bush, which the chooks will like to scratch in and around. It's also great because it can help prevent or treat chook lice. So you can break off some fresh twigs, put it into their nesting boxes. You can also make a quick spray and spray your chooks. Another beneficial plant we've got here is our mulberry plant. This is a great tree. It'll grow really big, providing shelter and shade. Shelter is really important from aerial predators, lots of eagles or just bigger birds. And shade is really important just for hot sunny days and rain, etc. The fruit will drop into the chook yard, which the chooks will love to clean up. And we chose to plant it on the outside as well, just to prevent the chooks from being able to climb up into the branches and potentially flying or jumping across the other side of the fence line. So what should you do if your chooks are constantly getting out of their pen and wreaking havoc in your garden? A good idea is just to give them a little haircut, but don't get too drastic, just do one wing and that will keep them grounded. We've also built this great nesting box on the outside of our chook house. This just makes it really easy to access without having to tramp through the whole chook yard to get to your eggs. All you have to do is come along, open it up, reach inside and harvest those eggs. We've got a beautiful chook on them right now, although she's just moving away. She laid an egg! This is our chook's first egg! When you're moving chooks into a new school or community garden, they're going to be really stressed and slightly freaked out because they've just had a big move in their lives. This means that they probably will have a break in laying, or they won't start laying for a little while longer. To help them along, you can actually put some eggs into their nesting box and they'll just help them remember what they should be doing. So another great use for a chook shed is using it to catch rain with its roof. We've made the downpipe into a gutter, connected it all up into the wheelie bin. From here, all we've done is put a tap on the very bottom of it. And that's it, it's that easy. This is a great thing to do because it means that feeding and watering your chooks becomes a really easy and fun activity rather than having to cart water from the other side of the garden. We've also put an overflow pipe into our rain tank. That means any excess water we can guide into the garden. We're guiding ours into an area where we're going to plant our fruit trees this winter. That just means that this will help them get established and it won't waste any precious water. A really great way to integrate your chooks into your garden is by building a chook dome. Chook domes are fantastic because it means the chooks can get into your vegetable garden without going to places you don't want them. We've made one here which is really light enough for 2 people to lift easily. And we've made it to fit our circle beds perfectly, which means we can rotate between the 3 of them. You put your chooks in there after your crops are finished. They'll go through and scratch up all that unwanted plant material, fertilise it with their manure and get rid of any weeds or seeds that you don't want. From there you can take the chooks and take the dome away, plant your crops into a really well prepared bed. You then move your dome onto the next circle bed where you can start that whole process again. Another thing to consider when building a dome is to include some shelter. We've just got an old tarpaulin here, which means that the chooks are sheltered from any kind of weather or predators. And make sure also that you put in some kind of perch for the chooks to roost on. You can also make similar structures to the dome. I've seen pyramid shaped ones, squares and triangles. Make them to suit your own situation. Chooks are a highly beneficial animal to have in your vegetable garden. They're great for the students, provide deep litter for your compost bays, produce eggs, and when integrated into your garden can help prepare your soil for healthy crops.